Reports circulating among pro-Biafra advocacy groups are drawing fresh attention to the legal case involving Nnamdi Kanu. According to these reports, supporters believe that efforts to bring issues surrounding Kanu's Kenyan rendition before the United Nations have entered a new stage, with claims that a date has been communicated for further engagement. At the time of this report, however, there has been no independently verified official announcements from the United Nations confirming those specific details. Even so, the reports have sparked widespread discussion among supporters, legal observers, and many Nigerians who continue to follow every development in the case. For many people, this is being seen as another important moment in a legal matter that has attracted attention both inside and outside Nigeria. Whether you support Nnamdi Kanu or simply follow national affairs, it is clear that every new report connected to his case quickly becomes a major topic of conversation. The reason for that is simple. Nnamdi Kanu's case has gone beyond a domestic legal issue. It has also become part of a wider discussion involving international law, human rights, extradition procedures, and the responsibilities of governments under international agreements. Because of this, every report mentioning international organizations naturally attracts significant public interest. Supporters of Kanu say the latest reports represent progress in their international advocacy efforts. They believe that continued engagement with international institutions could bring more attention to the legal questions surrounding his transfer from Kenya to Nigeria in 2021. Those supporters argue that raising the matter before international bodies is one way of keeping the conversation alive while legal proceedings continue in Nigeria. On the other hand, many legal analysts continue to emphasize the importance of relying on officially confirmed information. They point out that whenever reports involve international organizations, such as the United Nations, official announcements remain the strongest basis for understanding exactly what decisions have been made and what steps, if any, will follow. This difference in perspective explains why the latest reports have generated so much discussion online. Some people see them as a major breakthrough, while others believe it is better to wait for further confirmation before reaching any conclusions. If you have been following this story from the beginning, you already know that Nnamdi Kanu's legal journey has included several important developments over the past few years. His return to Nigeria in 2021 led to renewed legal proceedings, and since then, his case has remained before the Nigerian courts, while attracting attention from legal experts, politicians, civil society organizations, and international observers. One aspect of the case that continues to receive attention is the question surrounding the circumstances of his transfer from Kenya to Nigeria. His legal team has consistently argued that his rendition violated established legal procedures and international law. Nigerian authorities, meanwhile, have maintained their own position throughout the legal process. These differing legal arguments continue to form part of the wider discussions surrounding the case. Supporters believe that international attention could encourage broader conversations about due process, human rights, and the rule of law. Others argue that the matter should primarily continue through Nigeria's judicial system, where the courts remain responsible for determining the legal issues before them. This explains why every report connected to international advocacy receives so much attention. Many people believe that international discussions can influence public awareness, even when they do not directly determine the outcome of ongoing court proceedings. As these latest reports continue to circulate, many Nigerians are asking important questions. If there is further engagement at the international level, what practical impact could it have? Would it directly affect the legal proceedings already taking place in Nigeria? Or would it simply add another layer to the wider international conversation surrounding the case? These are questions that cannot yet be answered with certainty. International organizations often have different roles from national courts, and the legal processes involved are usually separate. While international opinions may influence public discussion or diplomatic engagement, they do not automatically change the outcome of domestic judicial proceedings. That is why legal experts frequently encourage patience whenever new reports emerge. They advise people to distinguish between reports of advocacy efforts, official announcements, legal opinions, and binding court decisions. Each of these carries a different legal significance. Meanwhile, supporters continue to express optimism. Many believe that sustained advocacy can keep international attention focused on issues they consider important. They argue that maintaining visibility is essential while legal proceedings continue. Critics, however, believe expectations should remain realistic. They note that international engagement often takes time and that complex legal matters rarely move quickly. They also caution against assuming that every reported development will necessarily produce immediate legal consequences. This balanced perspective helps explain why public reactions remain mixed. Some people view the latest reports as encouraging signs, while others prefer to wait until more information becomes available from official sources. Whatever your personal opinion may be, there is no doubt that Nnamdi Kanu's case continues to be one of the most closely watched legal matters in Nigeria today. Every court appearance, legal filing, public statement, or reported international development immediately becomes national news. As more information becomes available, people across Nigeria and in the wider international community will continue watching closely to see what happens next. If you've been following this case from the beginning, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you think international advocacy can meaningfully shape public discussion around high-profile legal cases? Or do you believe the outcome will depend primarily on the domestic judicial process? Share your opinion respectfully in the comments below. If you're finding this update informative, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing balanced news updates, legal developments, and important national stories in a clear and easy-to-understand way. Also, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our future reports as this story continues to develop. As always, we will continue following this case carefully and report any officially confirmed developments as they emerge. Until then, staying informed through credible sources remains the best way to understand this evolving story. And before you go, don't forget to like this video one more time, subscribe if you're new, and share this report with others who are interested in following legal and national affairs. Thank you for watching, and we'll continue bringing you more updates as new information becomes available. As this story continues to attract attention, another point worth discussing is why international advocacy has become such an important strategy for many groups involved in high-profile legal matters. Around the world, organizations and supporters often seek to raise awareness beyond their own countries, especially when they believe a case has broader implications. Their goal is usually to encourage international discussion, attract the attention of human rights organizations, and keep the issue visible while legal proceedings continue. In the case of Nnamdi Kanu, his supporters have consistently argued that the circumstances surrounding his transfer from Kenya to Nigeria should remain part of international conversations. They believe those issues deserve continued examination and discussion. That position has shaped much of the advocacy scene over the past few years. At the same time, many legal commentators remind the public that international attention does not automatically change court proceedings. Domestic courts remain responsible for hearing cases brought before them, and legal decisions are based on the laws and procedures that apply within their jurisdiction. This is why many observers say it is important to separate public advocacy from the legal process itself. Still, it is understandable why every reported international development quickly becomes headline news. Whenever words such as United Nations, international law, or human rights appear alongside an ongoing legal case, people naturally become interested in learning what has happened and whether it could have any practical effect. Looking at the latest reports, supporters describe them as an encouraging sign that their advocacy efforts are continuing to gain attention. They argue that maintaining engagement with international institutions keeps important legal questions in the public eye and ensures that discussions do not simply disappear over time. Others, however, advise patience. They point out that many international processes involve several stages, including communication between different offices, administrative reviews, and procedural steps before any significant public outcome becomes known. Because of this, experienced observers often recommend waiting for official documents or public statements before drawing firm conclusions.